Hello YouTube, Sushin here, and today I'm going to go over all the wake up options you can have in Tekken 8, or Okazeme. So, we're going to go over all the attack options first, and one of those is Get Up 3, which is a low kick. Now in Tekken 7, this used to counter hit launch, but it doesn't anymore. But this is not a bad option, depending on how you're faced. Because sometimes get up 3s and get up 4s, which get up 4 is a mid kick, can become slower. An example of this would be my back is towards, right? As you can tell, it comes out way slower than it normally would. So do keep in mind how you're facing your opponent. So another get up attack you could do besides get up 3 and get up 4, or get up left kick or get up right kick, is a toe kick. This move is very stubby, super punishable on block and on whiff. It can be hop kicked and all sorts of such. But when do you use this? If your opponent's like pressuring you a lot, sometimes this could help and they're not ready for a toe kick. It could get you up pretty well, but it's not always advised to do this consistently, as it becomes very reactable and readable as a read, and your opponent can punish properly. So get up 3, get up 4, right? And then toe kick. But there's also another one, spring kick. This only works if you're face up, feet towards your opponent. Okay? So if you're face up, feet towards like this, you can spring kick your opponent, which basically, end of its name, springs you towards your opponent and kicks them with a mid if they're not ready for it. But this is also the same thing with toe kick. It's super punishable on block, and it's also very punishable on whiff. Launch punishable at that. Yeah, be careful when using this. Again, it's just like toe kick. If you get too predictable, you're going to get punished very heavily for this. So do keep in mind. The next one is you can roll forward, but out of this, you could press both punch buttons, or 1+2, to get this mid attack, which is not the greatest option because you could get hit out of this roll. But if you want to throw your opponent off and they're like waiting for a spring kick or something, and you want to get real weird and dicey with it and risk everything, not a terrible option, but go for it. Also, this goes under highs, so that's something to keep in mind. But it's not highly recommended, and it's rarely ever used. So how do you get up normally? Well, you can get up by pressing up, which allows you to just stand up and start stand blocking. You can press back, and back allows you to get up like if you were standing, but create a little bit more space. So it's a lot of a safer option and allows you to breathe a little bit. Down back allows you to get up and block crouching. This is really good against 50-50 mix-ups, or if you have a read that they're going to go low off your Oki, it's really good to block those lows off your wake up and punish with the right frame move. Now, what about rolls? So, I can press 1 to roll into the background, sorry. Or I can press down in 1 to roll into the foreground, right? So 1 for the background and down in 1 for the foreground. But you can also roll a lot longer. So if I press 1 neutral and then hold down, I can go into the background. It's a bit tricky, but definitely practice it when you can. It allows me to roll a lot longer. If I want to go into the foreground and roll a lot longer and farther, I have to hold down in 1. Pretty straightforward. So, that in mind, let's talk about the reason why these get up options are important. But what happens if you're down, face up, back towards, right? So if you're faced like this, or like this, right? So if you're face down, feet towards, or face up, feet away, your back will be blown to smithereens if you get up like this. If you do up, back, down, back, tech roll normally, your back will be towards your opponent, meaning they can just launch you for free if you get up with any attack, if they time it right. Yeah, pretty scary stuff, I know. right? I'll even show you in the other one. Bring your face up. But you get the idea. Your back is towards your opponent, and you don't want your back towards your opponent because, well, anything is going to hit you no matter what. So how do you get around this? You long tech roll. So when I press down or when I press 1 and then hold down, I can get up while being able to block now. Same thing with holding down in 1 to get in the foreground. These are really good options to not get blown to smithereens and tech roll out. Now, obviously, if your opponent reads this, then yes, they're gonna, you're gonna have to eat a mix. But it's better to be able to block than get blown up instantly. Now, what happens if your opponent were to drop a combo? This gets a little tricky, but it's not that difficult to really understand. So, if I get launched and he drops the combo, as soon as I hit the ground, I can press 1 or left punch to tech roll into the background. There you go. It allows me to instantly block. And if I want to go into the foreground, I press 3 or my left kick, and it instantly puts me into the foreground. If this video was helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who are also struggling to understand how wake-up options work in Tekken 8. Mess around with it. You can also combine a lot of these to do a lot of cool stuff. So get to learning how to wake up and have fun with the game. This is Sushin. Y'all have a good one. Peace.